What does it take to become an alpha male? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked me, especially because I, as an alpha male, understand what it takes to become an alpha male. I will have to say that it's capable of different unique features that not a lot of people possess and not a lot of people understand how to possess. The main one is going to be able to dominate anybody in the field, right? I walk into a room, they don't think I'm here to play, right? Everybody thinks I'm the type of dude that walks into the room, people think I'm going to mess somebody up, right? They don't think I'm just having there to have a good time, whatever. No, they think I'm there to fight. Okay, not just easily, just aura farms the whole time I'm there. Right, immediately they just back down. Anybody that could even slightly stand my aura, right, they stay. But everybody else usually just fucking closes their nose and just runs away. I don't know why my aura does that, but I guess it does. But anyways, yeah. So that's number one step, right? Be able to dominate your field, be able to dominate your expertise, and be able to dominate your life. Okay, I don't make those rules. Those are just things that we have to follow. All right, we're starting off strong. Now the second one is be able to confidently display that. You can be dominant, but if you can't confidently display your skills, your actions, your words, then what's the point, right? You're out here just trying to show, oh, I can do this. Oh, I'm tough, but I got no confidence to back it up, right? See the rhino? Rhino, strong, tough, fierce. Confidence? No confidence. That's why it gets easily scared by hippos, even though it could pierce hippos. Sometimes even lions, right? Don't mention the poor eyesight. That's the third topic we'll get into later. Okay? You have to be able to confidently express who you are as a person, what you're there to do. Okay, that's gonna be step and rule number two. Now, rule number three, you have to have emotional intelligence. You have to be able to emotionally intelligently assess the whole situation, assess the room, assess what you got to do. Okay, because you can have all the other prior to. You can be intelligent, you can be confident, and you can dominate. But if you're not smart enough to know how to use those skills and those tactics, then what's the point? Why are you even listening to this? Right? Why are you even taking advice from me if you don't understand how to convey all those two, all those three? All right, I walk into the room and I assess, okay, who is the alpha in this room right now? How can I show that I'm more alpha than that alpha? I can alpha the alpha, okay? And that's when I start making key plays. All right, I start turning my brain on, and then I start twisting the components to be able to understand how to make the play, make it click. You gotta make it click. You understand? All right. Now, I understand it's a lot easier for me to be saying this than for you guys to actually do it. For me, it comes natural, right? Second nature. I walk into the room. Albert Einstein once commemorated my study of photosynthesis because he understood that I made great advances in the field. Okay, he understood that I understood more than he did in a deeper level. I just never took credit for it because I didn't want to be known as the smartest man alive. I let him take credit for that because you have to be able to be humble. All right, that's another cool little tip in there. It's not really a rule because you can not be humble and still be an alpha. Okay, but you have to recommend being humble. I always recommend it. All right, you can be tough, you can be brave, you can be dominant, you can be confident, you can be smart, but if you're not humble, you're just gonna look like a dick. Right? One time, Theodore Roosevelt told myself, "Be humble," and I said, "Shit, twin, whatever you say," and I was humble from then on. Okay, now another little like secret little tip that might help you is get a buzz cut. That's gonna help, obviously. Fucks you looking like, like who even has long hair nowadays? I don't even know. Zoom, zoom, chop all that hair off. All right, like that's the only way you can do it. Because any other way, then you're just kind of cooked yourself. Okay, because okay, who has long hair? Women. Who are women? Not alphas. All right, that's number rule 7. You gotta be an alpha. Okay. Now, I understand you should have been taking notes by now. All right, so go get your pen and paper out. Take some notes down. Okay. Let me tell you something. You also need to know how to be able to fight. You need to be able to protect yourself in life or death scenario. You have to be able to protect those you love in a life or death scenario. All right. Me, when I came to the United States, there was a Shaolin monk who used to run one of the Vietnamese restaurants. All right. He taught me Mu Tang. Okay. So he took a liking to me for some reason. I'm not sure. I was one of those little humble boys that walked in, didn't know exactly what's going on, right? But he just sensed my aura. He sensed it. He went, "Ooh, stinky," but I don't know what that means in Vietnamese. I still haven't learned the language yet, but I thought it meant, and I'm pretty sure it does, that this man has great potential. And he saw that in me. All right, every night after closing, we would clear out the tables, move the tables off to the side, okay? And I'd walk in. Since I walked in, I get ambushed by 25 ninjas. And the first night, I almost died. All my bones were broken. Every bone broken in 72 pieces. But the thing is, as bones heal, they get stronger. So my bones ended up healing after the seventh or eighth night. Okay, consecutive nights of my bones breaking 72 times, each bone. They ended up healing. Okay, and once it started healing, that's when he started teaching me Wu Tang, right? And he didn't teach me like he taught everybody else. Everybody else, he taught him self defense. Me, he taught me how to kill. Okay, that's what he taught me. He taught me how to defend myself and end somebody's life if I have to. Okay, so that just comes to my another lesson. You have to learn how to be able to defend yourself. You have to learn how to be able to fight back against the greater evil. All right. Now, that also helped because when I was little, I was obsessed with the super strength hormone. So basically, it's SSH. Sorry, I apologize. Sometimes even my own intelligence gets the better of me. I have a lot of things racing all at once, and I can't be able to convey them correctly. All right, and enunciate them appropriately. Yeah, I know. Some of you guys may not know what that word means. But anyways, back to the main topic because I know sometimes it's hard for you guys to follow and understand. All right, I don't know. We're still on page 7. I actually was since I was a little kid. When I went to the doctor, my dad took me to the doctor checkup. I went there for my checkup. The doctor said, "What are you feeding this kid? What are you feeding him? Is he injecting steroids? Are you giving this kid steroids?" My dad was confused. He's like, "No, I don't know what he's doing. He just keeps doing pull-ups and push-ups. And I just he this kid won't stop doing pull-ups and push-ups." I was too muscular. Even at the age of 7, I knew I was built for greatness. Every day, every night, 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 pull-ups. All right, my muscles were like bigger than the rock. One of my arms was the size of a fucking bowling ball. I'll tell you that. Okay. And it got to the point where I couldn't walk around in normal shirts anymore. I had to get a triple XL in men just to fit. Okay. That was all before the age of 10. After the age of 10, that's when things started to accelerate. And that's when I realized I'm built for great. All right. And then I started doing a buttload of steroids. All right. Now, I don't recommend doing steroids, especially if you're not alpha. Only for the top elite. So don't do it or else you'll die. But me, I was built for the top elite. Okay. Now, doctor let me off with a warning there. He said, "Sir, watch out. If you do too many push-ups and sit-ups, you might destroy the world with your fists and your grips. We don't need a second Chuck Norris here." And I said, "Yes, sir." You know, any more than the medical profession, I knew I was gonna be okay because here I am standing before you, an alpha, explaining you guys my alpha ways. Now, on to the 17th step of how to become an alpha. You have to stare at everybody. You have to stare them in their eyes and demand obedience. For thou is not much without obedience and respect. You cannot lead a command if you do not have the battalion. You cannot lead the battalion if you do not have the people. The people won't listen to you if they don't have a leader. Will you be that leader, or will you falter behind enemy lines? Will you falter behind the cavalry? Will you falter behind the first line? Will you be in the back, calling your mama, calling your sister, calling your mom, begging to return, waiting to be sent back? Will you stand up, be the man you know they can be? Be the man that everybody wants you to be. Dominate your enemies. Will you rise up? Will my soldier rise up against the greater good, for the good of the people, for the good of the earth? Or will you stay a puny little beta that won't amount to anything, sitting behind your screen, crying, begging for mommy, thinking that everything's gonna be okay because your mama likes you, your mama thinks you're the handsomest man in the world, but you and I both know that's wrong. Are you gonna sit there and take it, or are you gonna do something about it? Are you gonna do something about it? Now, with that being said, if you like the video, like the video. Subscribe if you're new and you want to see more. And you want to learn how to be an alpha. If anytime during the video you sneeze, bless you. If you sneeze, bless you anyways. Other than that, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Make sure you eat your water, drink your vegetables, have at least 7 hours of sleep tonight. I say 6, that's say 8 meters in a row, get around 7. Other than that, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Make sure you live your life to the fullest because you don't know when to live it. Bye, boy.